You stand over it thinking, this should go in. Good read, good speed, center cup, and then it lips out. For half a second, there's silence. Then the noise starts. How did I miss that? You always do this. That's a wasted hole. You replay it from every angle. You judge yourself. You carry it with you for the next tee. But here's the truth most golfers miss. The miss isn't the real problem. What happens in the seconds after is that moment right after a mistake. Psychologists sometimes call it a recovery window. It's the brief space where meaning gets assigned. Ruminators use that window to punish themselves. They catastrophize. They turn one missed putt into a story of who they are. Better golfers, they do something different. They acknowledge the miss, they reset, and they re-engage with what's next. Same miss, completely different outcome. In this training program, I'm going to walk you through the psychology of a missed putt and the process that you can use after any missed putt or any bad shot to stop the spiral, reset your mind, and get fully present for what's next. There's no swing changes, there's no cliches. I'm just going to offer you a practical way to gain faster emotional recovery. Because the best golfers aren't the ones who never miss. No, they're the ones who don't let one miss steal the next shot. So let's get into it, shall we? Hey there. If you don't know me, I'm Jimmy Kerr. I'm the author of the B-Flight Champion's Guide to Golf. You can see it right there in the background. It's available wherever you get your books. I'm also the curator of the B-Flight Champion Golf channel here on YouTube. And I just want to take a moment to welcome you. I want to say thanks for stopping by and checking out this new training video. If you would, please subscribe. It really helps me out. Like the videos, share them with your buddies, leave some comments if you want to do that. I'd love to interact with you. But again, just welcome aboard and let's get into the program. Thanks. There's a certain psychology that kicks in as soon as you miss a putt. This module is about learning how to deal with that, and it begins with understanding it better. Clearly, you don't want to let self-talk tank the rest of your round. So what we're going to try to do in this program is understand the dynamics that underpin the psychology of missing a putt, and then come up with a process to managing that a little bit better. Have you ever missed a can't miss putt? I know I have, and the reality is all kinds of frustration sets in. There's sort of a mental self-talk that begins to happen, and you can really do some damage not only to yourself on that hole, but actually for the rest of your round if you don't learn how to handle this frustration that comes when you miss a shot. The reality of this thing is our self-talk turns harsh because our brain sort of treats mistakes as threats, and we can train ourselves otherwise, but if we don't, those threats build up and create anxiety and stress that lingers on through the round. So what we really want to be able to do is understand what's happening, between our own two ears here, and develop some techniques that are going to help us better manage those times when things don't work out quite the way they should. The biggest thing you can do is those seconds right after a miss, whether it's a putt or a shot, is find what I call, your recovery window. That's the moments that are required to put everything into perspective. And it's really where resilience begins. You've got to recognize resilience is a skill, it's not a trait. It's not something that you're naturally born with. Sure, some people are more resilient than others, you know, because of the environment they grew up in and other factors. But resilience is definitely something that can be developed, and it's critical for good golf that we all develop the resilience required to handle, shots that just don't go our way. And it begins with separating the event of that missed putt from the story we tell ourselves. A missed putt is just data. Self-criticism turns into the actual verdict. So we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're criticizing ourselves because we made a mistake. We've got to sort of change that thinking, and it happens during that recovery window. Right after a miss hit, you've got a few seconds to put everything in perspective. If you start, being negative and frustrated and you start to throw clubs and storm around, and I've seen a lot of my golf buddies do this over the years, it does not help their game. And in fact, I'm one of those type of guys that when someone starts to behave in weird ways, it affects my game too. So it becomes a real challenge for me to manage my own reaction to this kind of behavior out on the golf course as well. So it creates, challenges that can not only affect the player, but their playing partners. And nobody wants to be that guy, right? So one of the things I want to try to help you understand is self-compassion is not lowering the bar. It's not, you're not making yourself weak by being self-compassionate in your self-talk. It's a false narrative to say, if I'm kind to myself, I'm going to become complacent. That's not the case. What we've got to be able to do is flip the script that happens, in our heads when a miss putt occurs, and change it into a learning opportunity. Gee, I pulled that putt. Oh, I pushed that putt. Oh, I misjudged the speed. Those are all things that are about learning. But rather than being positive like that, if we turn around and go, "Oh, that putt should have went in," and somebody, you know, jiggled their tees in their pocket right during my backstroke, or the wind kicked up and pushed that putt off course. Those are just kind of excuses that we use to make ourselves feel better, but they're not doing anything to improve our game. So what we've got to do instead is try to flip the script, as I mentioned, and get more about creating a learning opportunity so that we can continuously improve. Um, I've got 4 different reset rituals that I'd like to offer to you. The very first thing, right after a putt is missed, is name it. Yep, I missed, and it was left edge, or it was, r- right edge, or it was short, or it was too long, or I blew it through the line, whatever, but give it a name. That helps us to separate the, missed opportunity from the actual action. And then you want to reset. So that means exhale, take a deep breath, relax our jaws, relax our shoulders. A lot of people actually hold their breath when they get anxious. And that's one of the worst things you can do out on the golf course because it's going to impact your swing. The third thing you can do is consider onward action. Create one clear intention. So as you're walking off the green onto the next tee box, you should have something in your head that says, yeah, okay, this is where I'm going to hit a great drive, or I'm going to make sure that I choose the right club for this par 3, etc. So those are things that are getting our mind off of what just happened and moving it towards what we have to do next. And then finally, language swap, and that's sort of the fourth reset ritual that I think could really improve the way you're playing out there. Instead of saying I blew it, change it to next shot. Move on, or I'll be okay, or it's just one shot. Make it a positive kind of statement instead of, staying inside your mind and forcing yourself to feel like you're a bad person because a shot didn't go the way you planned it. It's critical that we accept the idea that resilience is not about these big comebacks. Sure, those things happen in sports all the time. When they happen, they're considered remarkable. The players involved tend to get incredible kudos for being able to come back from great adversity. But that's not what the everyday golfer is really dealing with. Rather, we're dealing with these sort of everyday misses, and that's where we want to build our resilience around. It's by being able to handle those things that are happening to us as we're playing around that's going to determine not only what our score is, but how much enjoyment we're deriving from the game. So it's really important to recognize that resilience is something that is going to impact the way we play and the way we feel, and to be working on it in a deliberate way and not just expect to, oh, I'll get over it. Well, no, what if you don't? What if you're the type of person that dwells on a mistake? It's really going to hurt your score. It's really going to hurt your ability to have fun out there. Um, so I want to kind of leave the psychology discussion with this. The putt is over. What's next? And what's next is really up to us. It's a choice that is left with us to determine what it means. You can miss a putt and feel like, okay, I that's in the bag. There's nothing I can do about it. On to the next shot. Or you can make that putt symbolize who you are. And, oh, I'm such a loser. Oh, I don't know how to play. I'm not a great putter, et cetera, et cetera. And all that negative talk is going to just frustrate you. It's going to be aggravating when you miss another shot later in the round, and it's going to impact your score and enjoyment for the game. So with that thought, let's shift gears. I want to move into sort of a 10-step recovery window drill that I think could be really useful to adopt and embrace and make yours. Because, like I say, resilience is a trainable skill, and I contend it's something you can learn in seconds, not years. But it does take deliberate effort. It does require you to change some habits and to catch yourself before you get down that spiral. So let's get into the 10 steps. Step one is recognize the window. Recognize you're in a recovery window. As soon as you hit a bad shot, your mind starts to react. Catch yourself. Recognize that that's what's going on. Determine that you have a choice. You don't have to spiral out of control. Instead, you can maintain your composure. But just know that as soon as that ball stops, whether it's in the hole or next to it, your recovery window is now open. So step one is just recognize that you're in a recovery window. Step two is about interrupting the rumination loop. It's about being able to catch yourself before you cycle out of control. Take that one deliberate breath. Maybe even close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Exhale fully. Get it out of your system, and then silently or aloud, whatever floats your boat. Just simply say that one's done. It's a way of putting it behind us so that we don't sit there and dwell on something that just happened. We can't change anything about that. That stroke was made. It counts in our score. The only thing we can control is what happens next, and it is a choice. So step two, interrupt the rumination cycle before it even begins. Step three is about stating the fact, not the judgment. And what I mean by that is describe the miss. I mentioned it earlier in the module, but look at it as an objective observer. Oh yeah, I missed that putt to the right. rather than a courtroom prosecutor. You know what I mean? You don't want to be sitting there, you know, judging yourself and pointing the finger at yourself and saying, oh my God, what an awful person I am because I missed this putt. If you let yourself do that, it's going to impact your score. Step 4 is simply get out of there, and that's physically remove yourself and leave that missed shot behind you. So even if you're not putting, let's say you hit a bad shot somewhere in the middle of the fairway or something, start walking, start moving, walk away from that bad, uh, mojo that just happened. And as you walk away, imagine stepping, out of the miss and leaving it behind. That's the best way to move forward and go onward in your round so that you can continue to play good golf. Step 5 is about resetting your body. Emotions settle faster when the body leads. So if you're able to, relax the shoulders, take a deep breath, uh, you know, feel like, your jaw's not clenched, proper breathing, all that. Those are things that are signaling the brain that you're okay, that you're going to be all right. And the faster you can get the body right, the faster the mind's going to be put into the right spot too. Which leads to step 6, which is choose a forward cue. Pick one simple intention for the next shot. So that's about, as I mentioned earlier, getting ready to put the peg in the ground, getting ready to uh, take a good swing, to maintain your balance, to finish your follow through. All the swing thoughts that you normally have, in your head when you are playing good golf is what you want to recall and bring to the to the fore, to forward in your mind, so that you're ready to make your next best swing. And then step 7, well, that's really about re-engaging with curiosity. Curiosity is a recovery accelerator. So if you're curious about, where am I going to hit this shot? Am I going to hit a little draw? Am I going to hit a little fade? Am I going to stay short of the water? Am I going to miss the two traps on either side of the green? Those are things that are positive things to be thinking about when you're getting ready to hit that shot. And it's not about, oh my God, I can't believe I missed that putt. Oh, my round is ruined. Oh, my handicap's going to go up. Oh, I'm going to lose, the $5 Nassau. Uh, those aren't positive things. Rather, you want to re-engage with curiosity. And then step 8 is measure the right stuff, measure the right things. Resilience improves when you track recovery, not perfection. So a good round where you're practicing good, positive, resilient behavior is measured by how good did I feel? How well was I able to leave bad shots behind me versus what was my score? Did I hit the perfect shot? Did I make every putt I should have made? Um, those are the wrong measurements. You want to substitute in things that are about making progress, that are about continuous learning. If you're able to develop and evolve that mindset, you're going to shoot lower scores. And then step nine is close the window. Once you've chosen the next shot, the window closes. So no need to dwell on what happened in the previous hole. Just keep moving forward. Close the window. And then step 10, and this is a post-round reflection. Take 30 seconds. That's all you need. Recall the times when you weren't able to let go and what happened next. And recall the times where you were able to let go pretty quickly and what followed. So in other words, if you're maintaining that bad, mindset into the next hole, chances are you're going to blow the next hole or at least the next shot. But in those times where you were able to recover very quickly, I bet you played better golf. And if you take time at the end of the round, like I say, just 30 seconds, maybe a minute, think through, when was I able to let go, and when did I hold on to negative energy, and what happened to me? Was I playing better when I was negative? Probably not. So with all that, I think the ultimate reinforcement is you don't need thicker skin. You need faster recovery. So it's not about being tough and battling through and all that. That's a misconception. It's really about being able to recover when mishaps happen out there on the golf course. So let me offer this final thought for you. Try to recall this thought the next time you play, and it's this. We don't suffer most from the mistakes we make. We suffer from the way we speak to ourselves after them. So it's not really about the mistake that really does a number on us. It's us doing a number on us after we've made a mistake. And if you can remember that, chances are you'll treat yourself more compassionately the next time you're playing the round, and your self-talk becomes more positive, and you start to enjoy the game a little bit more. You start to swing a little more freely. You start to score a little better, and all of a sudden you're having a great round. So that's what I wish for you. I hope you found some value in this training program. Again, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. All those things help. And I'll be back with more of these kinds of free training programs for you down the road. Thanks for watching.